Thank you all for being here. This is a great day for the college. One of the things that I've been posting, writing, blogging about is that Muskegon Community College is on the move. And that's just not talking a good game. It's really going back to the vision of the Board of Trustees over the last 6 years and moving the college to a point where we could be an institution of first choice for our students in the community. You know, I'm very proud to say that as of today, we've been able to raise funds to reconstruct our campus in a way that hasn't been done since 1967. We're at $32 million and rising. We're rebuilding a number of buildings on campus. We've now built our new science building. It's up and going. It's 20,000 square feet of academic excellence. We have an art facility that we're going to open in several years, a new health and wellness center that will be opening in about a year from now, and the downtown center, which will be our technology center that you're well aware of. But I think the keystone of what we're doing is what we're about to announce, something that will give our students resources, both physical, fiscal, and educational, that they have not seen in the lifetime of the institution. So without further ado, I would like to turn the podium back over to Dr. Crandall, who will make a number of announcements for you. Thank you for your time, folks.
As Dr. Nesbury pointed out, Muskegon Community College is making a significant investment in downtown Muskegon. We have our applied technology that will occupy the former Chronicle building, and our entrepreneur studies will be in this facility. We're really excited about the gift that we are about to receive, and I'd like to invite Secretary of the Board, Nancy Fry, up to read a resolution or two.
Honored guests, Board of Trustees, Dr. Nesbury, and our audience, thank you for being here today. I will be reading the resolution, which we're very excited about, and we thank you so much for. Whereas since 2009, John Rooks has focused his time and invested his resources into 7 business turnaround projects in downtown Muskegon. In addition to the development of condominiums, office buildings, marinas, retail projects, apartments, hotels, and subdivisions in 9 West Michigan communities, employing over 300 workers and bringing more than 60,000 visitors a year into Muskegon. And whereas he is passionate about Muskegon and entrepreneurialism and wants his projects to have an everyday impact on the local community and contribute to the vitality and the resurgence of the great city of Muskegon. Whereas he is also supporting local innovation and is dedicated to educating our talented young men and women and keeping them and their innovative ideas in our community. And whereas Muskegon Community College expresses his deepest gratitude to John Rooks for the donation of the Masonic Temple to Muskegon Community College as the Rooks Sarnicola Institute for Entrepreneurial Studies, and for his encouragement of his good friend, fellow entrepreneur and business associate, Nick Sarnicola, in the establishment of the Rooks Sarnicola Entrepreneurial Award. And whereas his generosity will appreciate students' opportunities in Muskegon and create a better, stronger, and more vibrant city. Therefore, be it resolved that the contributions of John Rooks to the Muskegon Community College are recognized and hereby codified. Adopted the 3rd day of June 2015 by the Muskegon Community College Board of Trustees.
Not quite yet. Board, we have a resolution before us. I need a motion to accept that resolution.
So moved.
And it's been moved and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor of approving the resolution, say aye.
Aye.
John, congratulations. Okay, next.
Second resolution, whereas after 10 years, 13 countries, 3 million customers, and well over $1 billion in sales, Nick and Ashley Sarnicola have turned their attention to supporting budding young entrepreneurs by creating Next Generation. Is it GN? NextGen, and whereas they personally pledged $1 million to NextGen, whose mission is to foster entrepreneurship through mentorship, scholarships, and seed capital to young entrepreneurs. Whereas the Sarnicolas, through NextGen, have donated $200,000 to the Foundation for Muskegon Community College to establish the Rooks Sarnicola Entrepreneurial Award, and whereas this endowment will provide $10,000 Rooks Sarnicola Entrepreneurial Award annually to a graduate of Muskegon Community College Entrepreneur Studies program, and is intended to promote entrepreneurship in general, support MCC's related programs, and to retain talent in the Muskegon County area. Whereas the Sarnicola friendship with John Rooks and their combined generosity and investment in Muskegon Community College and our community will create a vitality and economic strength that will serve our region for generations to come. Therefore, be it resolved that the contributions of Nick and Ashley Sarnicola to Muskegon Community College are recognized and hereby codified, adopted this third day of June 2015 by the Muskegon Community College Board of Trustees.
Board, do we have a resolution before us? Motion to approve. Second. Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Nick, congratulations.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you.
And now we'd like to have words from both John and Nick. John?
Well, thanks for the kind words and the incredible resolutions. This is a really important day for us, for Nick and Ashley and myself and my partner, Patricia Dubois. To be able to do something like this is something we've always dreamed of. We're very honored to be able to gift a building that will house so much more than student chairs and desks. It will be a place to house and support opportunities and innovation. When I was young, my father saw my potential and encouraged me. I was able to start my first business of reproducing photographs at age 12 and sell them to my students at my school, and had thousands of pictures, and that's when my dad said, maybe I shouldn't be a photographer, I should be an entrepreneur. It made a difference. When I was 13, my scoutmaster saw potential and supported me. He allowed me to help him renovate houses and run wires and do plumbing work and tear down walls and rebuild walls, and it made a difference. When I was in college and learning how to think well with agility, I had a professor who believed in me, and it made a huge difference. He invested in a company I started overseas. When I graduated from college and was looking to establish my own business at an early age, I found key people and influencers to believe in my judgments and support me. It made a difference. So looking at me today, you would be hard-pressed to say that myself as a junior high student and a high school student who suffered from pretty severe asthma, who couldn't play sports but was looking for a way to make a mark, to be accepted and be recognized for having a talent. I was lucky. I had strong advocates early on that helped me become who I am today. They believed in me and supported my early efforts in business. They helped nurture and grow my confidence and skill sets. Some even helped fund some of my early projects. Though it may be hard to believe, by the time I was 15, I bought 2 broken down houses with a loan from my former Boy Scout master to rehab and flip. When I was in college, I started importing cars from Germany and selling them out of the backyard of my fraternity at University of Michigan for a profit. After tapping a strong foundation of U of M School of Business and graduating, I refocused on real estate, tapping the construction skills I learned during junior high and high school, and my Scoutmaster starting at age 13. Since creating Parkland Properties in my early 20s, I have created millions of dollars of award-winning projects in 9 West Michigan communities and have received some very prestigious awards. You could say that I am successful by anyone's standards. That is true. What I will tell you also is that it never would have happened without others' belief and support. It allowed me to step into the path of opportunity and eventual success. I brought the drive, passion, and work ethic, but they helped me learn how to harness and channel that work ethic. They were my champions, my teachers, and my advocates. I know that not everyone has this kind of support or perhaps the internal compass for business and entrepreneurism. That is why I partnered with MCC and Nick and Ashley Sarnicola, and I want to provide a place where students and professors and community business leaders can come together. I want to help bright minds find the support, the structure, and the opportunities to create their own success stories like my own and mine and Nick's and Ashley's right here in our own backyard. There's so many opportunities in our own backyard that people miss. Let's not miss this one. Even though I have traveled the world many times over and have investment properties in other states, I come back here to West Michigan. It is truly a place of rich business history, entrepreneurism, and endless opportunities. There's amazing people in this room who have been philanthropists. There's amazing people who have thought big. Dr. Nesberry, the board of directors, who are bringing a $13 million investment to downtown Muskegon. I think it's the biggest one in 20 years, from my knowledge. Right here in a building that has one of the coolest light dimmers in the entire city. Everybody needs to play with that when they leave. I leave you with this. Nick and I hope to inspire, empower, and engage young minds to develop their own style and their own skills so that one day they too will be able to pay it forward and stand on a stage like we are and in a circle and share their stories of success while they role model encouragement and help financially support the next generation seeds of innovation and entrepreneurism. And with that, to the students of this city and to the people in this room today, I want you to know that Nick and I believe in all of the leaders of this city, and hopefully in a few short years, we will all be able to look back at our time here in MCC and say, this day made a difference. Never step back from your potential and always put yourself in the path of the greatest opportunities. Thank you. And
well, thank you, everybody. First of all, it's never easy to follow the most gifted and intelligent entrepreneur that you personally know. But in order to share with you guys kind of how we got here today, I got to go back to my backstory for it all to make sense. I'm originally from Grand Rapids, Michigan. All 4 of my grandparents, they worked at Steelcase. It kind of had a trickle-down effect. So my dad worked there. My uncles all had worked there at one point. My brothers had worked there at one point. So I didn't know what I wanted to be growing up, but I knew I didn't want to follow that same path. And I always remember daydreaming about being, rich one day. And I think most kids daydream about being rich one day. I don't think most kids daydream about being, poor one day. I think they have that dream. The only problem is how to do it, because there's not an education program for it. So unless you're raised in a wealthy family, you'll never really know the true way of how to create success financially. So I did what most kids did, and I said, okay, well, I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't play an instrument, I can't act. There's already one white rapper from Michigan named Eminem, so that's out. I'm never going to do anything illegal, so that left sports. So I actually went on and played college baseball at Grand Rapids Community College. I used to play against MCC. And after failing miserably at that for a couple of years, I just shared with, I think it was Donald, that they won the 2 national championships before me at GRCC and the 2 national championships after me. So that tells you anything about my baseball career. But thankfully, as I was a freshman at GRCC and I was working at Woodland Mall 1 day a week, I was introduced to the topic of entrepreneurship. And I remember being absolutely baffled that it existed. Because I thought back to my 7th grade life skills class where they made a list of 100 things you could be when you grew up. And you could be a this and a that and a this and a that. But a successful businessman wasn't one of them. Entrepreneur wasn't one of them. Rich guy wasn't one of them. It didn't exist. It was just different careers that you could have, and none of them appealed to me at all. So I checked the other box, and I wrote pro baseball player. And I remember thinking, man, I wonder what would happen if they taught entrepreneurship to kids. What would happen if they taught it down at the lower levels? But I was grateful that I found it at age 18. So I got started in the industry of direct selling as a part-time entrepreneur, and didn't have success at it at all. But I had, as John alluded to, I had many mentors, and I had an individual independent drive. I think all entrepreneurs have one thing in common, no matter what they do, is they're extremely driven. There's no such thing as a lazy entrepreneur or a lazy successful entrepreneur. That doesn't exist, right? So I was very driven, and I learned the craft, and by the time I was 25, I'd made my first $1 million in the industry. And at 26, my partners and I created a company by the name of Isalis out of Troy, Michigan. And we partnered with the chief wellness officer from Henry Ford's Health System in Detroit. He was the first guy to graduate with a degree in human nutrition at U of M. And we began marketing high-end pharmaceutical grade or nutraceuticals, pharmaceutical grade supplements. And a few years in, we created what's now today known as the Body by Vi 90-Day Challenge, or the Challenge. We're now today the largest weight loss and fitness challenge on the planet. 13 countries, 3 million customers. We've done about $1.7 billion in sales, and it's been a wild, wild journey. So I'm currently 36 years old, so it's been, half of my life has been dedicated to entrepreneurship. Now, on this journey of being successful individually, I think every entrepreneur that makes it then begins to think about how they made it and who had the impact or the certain turning points in their life, aka a mentor. And we then look back and go, well, how can we begin to mentor others? Because again, there's not an education program for entrepreneurs to learn how to be entrepreneurs. So you can't go to school to learn it. So if you're going to create a next generation of entrepreneurs, you have to become a mentor. And my wife and I made the decision a few years ago to take $1 million personally and create a foundation by the name of NextGEn, which stands for Next Generation Entrepreneurs. Because it is exactly what I wanted to provide for the void that I had growing up, that system that didn't exist of education of entrepreneurship. And we began funding different programs and different charities that had their own programs in place to educate young entrepreneurs. And we began making donations, et cetera, over the last few years, and got to work with a lot of the high school students and different business plan contests and mentorship opportunities. And on my dream list of the one day, someday, maybe, possibly, there'd be a building that was named after you because of what you did or what you've given back in entrepreneurship. And I can share with you guys that I wouldn't have dreamed that it would happen within 3 years. And it's without a shadow of a doubt an impossibility without this man to my left, John Rooks. This is a guy that is he's a humble giant, period, in entrepreneurship. I've met many billionaires and many self-made multi-millionaires, and this is one of the most humble gentlemen that you ever meet with his level of success. So John, as a friend and as a mentor and as a business partner, thank you from the bottom of my heart, because you created an opportunity for Ashley and I that, who knows, could have been decades down the road, so I appreciate you. Thank you very much. And obviously for MCC to step up and to create a program that, when I graduated high school in '97, I didn't know existed anywhere. I remember searching everywhere for a place to study entrepreneurship after I learned about it when I was at GRCC. I was like, well, where can I study it? And I found a graduate program at Pepperdine. And anyone that knows about school costs, And in this room knows that transferring from Graham Community College to Pepperdine is probably, in Malibu, is probably not very likely. Central had a program for it. I think that was also for graduate, but I had never heard of a community college that would offer a program like this. And you know, it's my hat's off to the whole school for stepping up and saying we're going to teach people entrepreneurship, because you know, one of the things that you'll hear from most entrepreneurs that I've ever met, most successful entrepreneurs, is the grand majority of them don't say, I learned it from my 8th grade teacher, or I learned it from my history book, or I learned it from my math class, or I learned it from calculus, or I learned it from, they learn it from a mentor, or they learn it from someone that started a business and passed that knowledge on. And to create a curriculum where you know, people can come in and pass that knowledge on is priceless. It's literally priceless. It'll take you know, who knows how many thousands of kids that are just like John and I that will go, a light bulb will go off and go, wow, I didn't know you could do that. I didn't know you could be an entrepreneur, because it wasn't on the checklist of options growing up. So we are absolutely thrilled to be able to be a part of this, to be able to, you know, make the donation. It is a dream come true decades in advance. And I can't wait to come back and hopefully get to lecture to the students and be a part of their growth and development, as Ashley and I live part-time here in Grand Rapids and in Miami, and I'd love to be a part of anything that we can be a part of. And if I can close with this before I have Ashley just say a quick word, because she is equally as responsible for this as I am. Our company, when we started it 10 years ago, the name Visalis literally means life, health, prosperity. Vi means life, and Salis means health and prosperity. And life experience, health, transformation, but the prosperity piece was to be able to provide people with a way that they could create an income for themselves, a way that they could create other entrepreneurs, so they could become an entrepreneur, and a way that they could create other entrepreneurs, but lastly, that they could go become so successful that they could give back, and that they can contribute, and they could be a philanthropist at whatever level that they wanted to be. So, you know, today I get to fulfill through, you know, John and through MCC, I get to execute on the mission of our company as an individual inside of that company. So thank you guys very much. Thank you, Dr. Nesberry. Thank you, John Rooks. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Ashley to wrap up. Thank you, guys.
So today is extremely exciting for our family. It's a unique day for us because our daughter Giovanna, this is her 2-year birthday today. So this will be a day that we will look back on for years to come with a big smile on our face. And you know, what excites me the most is the ripple effect. And I get chill bumps just thinking about, you know, decades from now, you know, 30, 40 years from now, when people are looking at that picture with the check and, you know, hey, that was day one. Yeah, that was the very first day. And to be standing, you know, in the place where so many people's lives will be changed. You know, I hope that you guys can feel the energy in this room, and I know that, you know, when Nick and I come back and we get a chance to, you know, stand in front of the building when it's finished and see the sign and to watch the students walking in and out. You know, this is almost surreal, and I wonder if that day will actually really bring it home and make it real for us. But I just want to say to every single one of you, thank you for your vision. Thank you to John and Patricia for your friendship and your mentorship. And I know that Nick and I are looking forward to participating, you know, as long as we can, you know, and until we're not on this earth anymore. And hopefully our daughter and many other entrepreneurs that we have inspired through just taking the small action today, we can teach other people that, hey, you know, it's not just about making a ton of money. It's about getting to that place in life where you can give back. And what better community to give back to, and you know, what better institution to give back to than Muskegon Community College. So thank you guys so very much.
Thank you again, John, Nick, Ashley, and Patricia. Your gift is going to serve our institution and our community for years, for decades. I know there are folks out there with questions. We have our academic vice president, Teresa Sturris, is here. We have several of our department chairs here. We actually have Mr. Milton, Michael Milton from Barnes & Noble, which will have a presence in this building. another exciting piece of this development. So if there are any questions, I will step aside and let anyone who has those questions ask.